Thus far, everything we've done has been in a major key. Let's move to a minor key. That'll be exciting. We're going to do something in the key of A minor. And here's some more stuff of how to augment the chords and embellish them, make them sound more interesting. So what we're going to do specifically is create the sound of suspended chords. And we're going to use suspended fourths and suspended seconds. Now, as we had ascertained from looking at our major scales before and the scale degrees, we know what a fourth is and we know what a second is. So in the key of A, the second would be the second note in an A major scale. So it would be a B note. And the fourth would be a D note. So logically, if you have an A chord, minor or major, and you add the fourth, it creates A sus4. That's what it's called, A suspended fourth or A sus4. And if you replace, and this has to do with replacing the third, that is, with the fourth. If you replace the third, whether it's minor or major, with the second, you get the sound of a sus2 chord. Here's our A minor, and we can add the pinky on top to make A minor 7. Add the pinky to the third fret of the B string, as I was saying, for A sus4, or play an open B string. For E minor, you can do the same thing. Pinky on top, pinky on the B string, or pinky on second fret of the G string to create E sus4, which is the chord you hear at the beginning of Behind Blue Eyes on acoustic guitar by The Who. Then when you get to G, we can add our first finger to create G sus, or our second finger to create G add 2. It's called add 2 because we still have our major third. Then on the F chord, pinky goes one fret higher on the G string, third fret to create F sus4, or open G for F sus2. And on the C chord, same thing. Go one fret higher on the D string now to create C sus4, or open D string for C sus2. All right, now here's a chord progression that utilizes all these chords and little variations in the chords. And it's sort of going between the sound of A minor and then its relative major, C major. And this is very useful for that because, again, first position chords in acoustic guitar is an essential part of playing acoustic guitar and rock music. And hearing that pitch axis between relative major and relative minor is also a very important thing to understand. Here's the progression. 1, 2, 3, and... Since we're talking about suspended chords, we have to talk about the king of suspended chords, and that's Pete Townsend. Pete loves suspended chords, and one of his most well-known usages of these chords is Pinball Wizard, where he played triadic chord forms on the top 4 strings and would add his pinky to switch from a sus4 back to a major triad chord, and then he used his thumb to play the root notes on the bottom. So this next example is played using those types of chords. Here we go. All right, so we've been augmenting these chords by adding stuff to the top of the chords, mostly the upper part of the chord. So it kind of adds a little chord melody, a little melody on the high part. But you can also augment the chord with little bass-like figures by hammering. And you combine that with a little palm muting. And you hear this kind of stuff in country rock and in bluegrass. And you also hear this sort of thing in songs like Rocky Raccoon by the Beatles. Now let's take this concept and move it into straight major chords and seventh chords. And what you're going to end up with, if you increase the tempo, is basically a rhythm part that sounds like early rock and roll and rockabilly, like you would hear Elvis Presley do, and songs like That's All Right, Mama. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, and...